The sky over the planet Zorith was burning red. Fires raged across distant forests, and the rivers were black with unknown poisons. The citizens of Zorith had never seen such destruction. Every day, new reports came in of sickness, of machines failing, and of strange, dark clouds appearing over the cities. The disease was spreading faster than anyone could control, and even the most skilled healers were helpless. On the highest tower of Zoritha's capital city, the leaders gathered. They were tall, strong, and wise, yet even their eyes showed fear. One of them, Commander Varric, slammed his clawed hand on the table. "We cannot survive this alone," he said, his voice echoing across the hall. "Our medicines fail. Our engineers cannot repair the energy cores fast enough. We need help from Earth." A murmur ran through the room. Earth, the distant blue planet, known only from old star maps and ancient messages. They had sent no contact for centuries. Was it even possible that Earth still cared about distant civilizations? Lyra, a young scientist, stepped forward. Her eyes shone with both hope and fear. "We must send a message tonight," she said. "If we wait, it will be too late. Every hour we delay, more of our people will die. We can't waste time thinking about whether they will respond. We have to ask." The leaders agreed, though none of them felt certain. A team of the fastest pilots prepared the communications ship. It was small but equipped with the most advanced technology Zorith had. The signal they planned to send had to reach Earth, across light years of cold, dark space. It was a daring plan, a last hope. As the ship launched, the citizens of Zorith watched from the city's terraces. The sky glowed with the ship's engines, leaving a trail of blue light against the red horizon. Everyone knew the risks. The journey could take weeks, and even if the message reached Earth, they might not respond. For now, they could only wait. Days passed. The disease spread further, and fear grew. Children fell ill, their small bodies trembling as medicine ran out. Machines that once powered the cities began to break down, one by one. The energy cores flickered like dying stars. Zoritha's proud civilization, once a shining example of strength and innovation, was crumbling. Then, just when despair had taken hold, the communication system on the tower crackled. A signal, a faint, blinking message appeared on their screens. Hearts raced. Could it be Earth? Lyra carefully decoded the message. Her eyes widened in disbelief. The symbols and language were unmistakably human, a direct response from Earth. But the message was not simple. It spoke of medicine formulas, engineers ready to travel, and even fleets prepared for deployment. It was more help than they had dared to imagine, but it came with condition. "They want us to prepare," Lyra whispered, almost afraid to speak the words. "They will only send the fleet if we follow their instructions exactly. Every step. If we make mistakes, they may turn back." Commander Varric's eyes narrowed. "We have no choice. We follow the instructions. We must. Our people depend on it." The alien engineers worked day and night. They built landing zones, adjusted their energy grids, and prepared storage for the incoming medicine. Every task had to be perfect. Every calculation had to be precise. Any error could mean failure. Meanwhile, citizens watched with mixed feelings. Hope glimmered, but fear still lingered. Strange noises in the city, sudden power failures, and mysterious shadows in the sky made people uneasy. Some whispered that Earth's fleet might bring more than help, that perhaps they had secrets or motives they did not understand. But for most, survival was the only thing that mattered. Lyra found herself standing alone on one of the city terraces, staring at the stars. She felt a chill. The stars were calm, indifferent, yet one of them, Earth, was sending a promise of salvation. She wondered what the humans looked like, what their ships were like. Were they like the old legends? Could they really save Zorith in time? The next night, the skies over Zorith glowed again. Strange lights flickered in the distance. The fleet had begun its journey. Although still light years away, the first signs of Earth's presence were undeniable. Excitement mixed with anxiety in the hearts of the citizens. This was no longer a distant hope. It was real. Help was on the way, but so were the challenges that came with it. Lyra returned to the tower and checked the preparations. Medicine supplies were organized according to the instructions from Earth. Engineers had double-checked every landing zone. Nothing could go wrong, or so they hoped. Then the first strange event happened. Sensors detected interference in the communication signals. Tiny, unexplainable glitches. Was it a malfunction? Or something more? Commander Varric frowned. "Prepare for anything," he ordered. "We cannot assume Earth will arrive smoothly. There are always dangers we cannot see." As the days passed, tension grew. Every citizen felt it. The sick cried out for medicine. Families prayed for the fleet to arrive. And above all, the question hung in the air like a storm cloud. Would Earth really help them in time, or would Zora fall before their allies arrived? Lyra could feel the weight of the world on her shoulders. She worked tirelessly, coordinating teams, decoding Earth's messages, and monitoring the skies. She had to keep hope alive, even when her own heart trembled. The survival of her people depended on it. And then, one evening, the communication screens lit up brighter than ever before. A single message appeared in bold letters. It was a countdown. Earth's fleet would arrive sooner than expected, but there was a warning. "Be ready. Your world will change when we arrive. Everything you know will be tested." The citizens of Zorith held their breath. The moment of truth was coming. Hope was finally within reach. But danger was closer than ever. Every eye turned to the sky. Every heart waited for the first glimpse of the fleet. And just as the last rays of Zorith's red sun disappeared behind the mountains, a shadow appeared in the far distance. Something massive, moving through the stars toward them. It was no longer a question of if Earth would arrive. It was a question of what they would bring, and whether Zorith would survive the coming days. The message had been sent. The fleet was on its way. And the fate of Zorith hung in the balance, waiting for the first sign of human help. The shadow in the distance grew larger every hour. Citizens of Zorith gathered on terraces, rooftops, and observation towers. Their hearts beat faster with each passing moment. Hope and fear battled inside them. Could this enormous fleet really be here to save them? Or was something else coming? Lyra stood at the edge of the Capitol Tower, eyes fixed on the horizon. Her stomach twisted with nervous anticipation. "It's real," she whispered, almost afraid to say it aloud. "Earth's fleet, it's really coming." Commander Varric appeared beside her, silent and tense. His sharp eyes scanned the sky, calculating speed and trajectory. "Stay calm," he said, "but prepare for anything. We do not yet know what we are dealing with." As the fleet drew closer, strange shapes emerged from the blinking lights. Ships of all sizes, glimmering with unknown metals, move in perfect formation. They were unlike anything Zorith had ever seen. Some hovered silently, defying gravity. Others blinked with lights and engines that glowed blue like molten crystals. The citizens gasped. Children clutched their parents' hands. Even the bravest soldiers whispered in awe. Lyra's mind raced. This was more than help. It was a display of power, precision, and intelligence. Earth had not only heard their plea, they had arrived prepared for everything. But the awe quickly shifted into tension. The first message from the Earth engineers arrived. It was clear, direct, and commanding. "Prepare the landing zones. Follow instructions exactly. Any mistakes will delay assistance." Lyra turned to Commander Varric. "They're serious. We have to follow every step." Varric nodded. "We do not have a choice. This is our chance to survive. Every detail matters." For the next several hours, Zorith's citizens and engineers worked tirelessly. Landing pads were reinforced. Energy fields were activated. Medicine storage areas were organized according to Earth specifications. Even minor miscalculations could be disastrous. Every moment was critical. Meanwhile, the fleet moved with almost unnatural precision. Ships descended from the sky, hovering just above the tallest buildings. Massive cargo modules lowered slowly, containing supplies, medicines, and advanced equipment. Every delivery was perfectly synchronized. But then, a flicker of unease rippled through the engineers. Strange signals interfered with their communications. Tiny glitches that made some instructions unreadable. Lyra's heart raced. "This shouldn't happen," she said. "It's like something is jamming the signals." Commander Varric frowned. "Whatever it is, we cannot let it stop us." We finished the preparations. The first Earth engineers finally stepped out of their ships, clad in white and silver suits, their helmets glowing faintly. They moved with calm authority. They began coordinating with Zorth engineers, showing advanced techniques and methods. Medicine was distributed immediately to the sick, who looked at the humans in wonder and gratitude. Yet, something about the humans was strange. They spoke little about themselves and refused to answer questions beyond instructions. Their eyes seemed to hold secrets. Lyra noticed how they moved, how they examined everything with careful scrutiny, as if they were not just here to help but also to observe and judge. Despite this, the collaboration began to save lives. Sickness slowed. Machines, once failing, were repaired faster than Zorth engineers thought possible. People's hopes surged. For the first time in weeks, laughter echoed in the streets. Children ran again, their energy returning. But just as relief spread, another warning came from the Earth engineers. Your world is not yet safe. The fleet is here to protect you, but a greater danger approaches. Prepare for the unexpected. A shiver ran through everyone. Varric's claws tightened around the tower railing. Greater danger? He muttered. What could be worse than what we are already facing? Lyra's mind raced. What had they missed? What threat could be approaching both Zorth and Earth? The engineers refused to explain. They only repeated their instructions, emphasizing preparation, vigilance, and exact precision. As the day turned into night, Earth's fleet remained in perfect formation above the city. Lights glimmered like distant stars, yet their presence was not comforting. It was imposing, almost intimidating. The citizens slept uneasily, unsure if salvation or danger had truly arrived. Lyra stayed awake, studying the fleet and the humans. She noticed patterns, small details that others missed. Every ship had sensors. Every engineer had devices she had never seen before. It was clear. They were not just here to help. They were ready for something bigger. Then, the first incident occurred. A low hum echoed across the city. One of the cargo ships flickered and tilted unexpectedly. Engineers scrambled to stabilize it. Lyra realized with horror. The interference in their signals was not random. Something, or someone, was trying to disrupt them. Commander Varric called an emergency meeting. If the fleet cannot function properly, we could lose everything. Lyra, I need you to monitor the systems and find the source of the interference. Quickly. She nodded, feeling the pressure in her chest. Hours passed as she traced signals, decoded patterns, and tried to understand the problem. Finally, she discovered it, a subtle, alien energy wave approaching Zora from beyond the atmosphere. Not natural, not one of theirs. Something was coming, something dangerous. Lyra ran to Varric. It's coming. Something is approaching. We have to warn the fleet. Varric's eyes narrowed. Earth warned us to be ready for the unexpected. This is it. Prepare the defenses. We may not know what we are facing, but we cannot fail. The citizens of Zorth, unaware of the exact threat, felt the tension in the air. They trusted Earth, yet fear lingered. Every shadow seemed darker, every sound louder. The skies were quiet now, too quiet. And then, far above, a shimmer appeared, a massive object, moving faster than anything Zorth, or even Earth had ever built, approached the planet. Its presence made the air vibrate. The lights of the Earth fleet blinked nervously in response, as if even they were wary of what was coming. Lyra swallowed hard. This is bigger than we thought, she whispered. We are not just waiting for medicine or engineers. We are waiting for our survival. Commander Varric clenched his jaw. Then we survive together. Zorth and Earth side by side. Whatever comes, we will face it, but we must be ready. The citizens watched the sky, not knowing what awaited them. Hope and fear danced together in the hearts of every Zorathian. Earth had arrived to help. But now, the real challenge was about to begin. The skies above Zorth were alive with lights and energy. The Earth fleet hovered in perfect formation, massive ships casting shadows over the city. Citizens watched in awe and fear. The hum of engines was constant, like the heartbeat of some enormous creature. They had hope, yes, but now came the tension of preparation. Lyra walked through the streets, observing the engineers and citizens as they worked. Everyone moved with urgency. Landing zones were reinforced with energy fields. Medicine was carefully organized into secure compartments. Defense systems, simple by Earth standards but advanced for Zorith, were activated. Every step was precise. Mistakes could mean disaster. Commander Varek gathered the top engineers. "The humans' instructions are clear," he said. "Every detail must be followed exactly. They will not tolerate errors. If we fail, help may be delayed, or worse, we may be left to face the unknown threat alone." Lyra felt the weight of his words. The humans were here to save them, but they trusted no one blindly. Every engineer and citizen had to prove they were capable. The pressure was immense. As the teams worked, small incidents began to occur. Lights flickered, machinery beeped strangely, and some of the landing zones showed instability. Lyra traced the problem's interference. Signals from the approaching cosmic energy wave, still unseen, but growing stronger. "This isn't just a test," Lyra whispered to herself. "It's a warning." Commander Varek noticed her concern. "Keep your focus. Every system must be ready, no matter what comes." The citizens, meanwhile, were unsettled. Children asked their parents why the humans were so strict. Soldiers patrolled the streets, double-checking equipment. Every eye was on the sky, watching for the first sign of the mysterious threat. Rumors spread. Some believed Earth's fleet could fight anything, while others feared the humans themselves might have secrets. Then, the first Earth engineers approached Lyra. Their suits gleamed under Zortha's dim sun, and their voices were calm, precise. "Your landing zones are not yet fully stable," one said. "Adjust the energy fields by 3 degrees. Speed is critical. Every second counts." Lyra nodded, quickly relaying the instructions to her team. They adjusted the fields, sweat rolling down their faces. The human engineer watched silently, arms folded, observing every move. Lyra felt the pressure, but she also understood they had to succeed. Failure was not an option. Hours passed. The fleet maintained its position above the city, scanning for signs of the incoming threat. Strange lights appeared in the distance, flickering beyond the horizon. They were not stars. They were massive, moving shapes, racing toward Zorith faster than any known ship. The hum in the sky grew louder. The first signs of danger were visible. Commander Varek called an emergency meeting. "This is no longer just about preparation," he said. "The threat is real and it will arrive soon. Earth's fleet is ready, but we must coordinate with them. Every detail matters. Lyra, you lead the communication team." Lyra's heart pounded. She felt the responsibility in every command she gave. Messages had to be precise. Any mistake could confuse the humans or delay medicine distribution. "Yes, Commander," she said firmly. "We will not fail." As night fell, the citizens of Zorith gathered once more to watch the sky. The massive shapes grew closer, moving with a speed and power that seemed unstoppable. A low vibration shook the ground beneath them. The lights of the Earth fleet flickered in response, like nervous eyes preparing for battle. Lyra stood on the highest terrace, scanning the approaching shapes. "What are they?" she whispered. "We have never seen anything like this before." A human engineer appeared beside her. "They are not your enemies yet," he said calmly, "but they are dangerous. If they reach your planet before we are ready, survival is not guaranteed." Lyra swallowed hard. She had hoped that Earth's arrival meant safety. But now, the real challenge was clear. Preparation, precision, and courage were their only weapons against the unknown. The next day, the preparation reached its final stage. Medicine was organized, landing zones stabilized, defense systems ready. Engineers worked tirelessly under the supervision of both Zorathians and Earth humans. Every corner of the city was checked, every machine tested. And then, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the first signs of the cosmic threat appeared in full. Massive shapes, glowing with energy, approached faster than expected. The hum in the air was deafening. Citizens ran to safe zones, holding their families tightly. Soldiers took positions. The city was alive with tension, yet ready to fight, to survive. Lyra sent a final report to Commander Varek. "All systems are ready." Earth engineers confirmed readiness. We can handle what comes, but this is bigger than anything we imagined. Varric nodded grimly. We face it together, he said. Zorth and Earth, side by side. This is our chance to survive, and our first real test of unity. Above them, the Earth fleet aligned perfectly, massive ships glowing in the dark sky. It was a breathtaking sight, both beautiful and terrifying. They were here to help, yes, but the challenge ahead was immense. Every life on Zorth depended on preparation, courage, and trust. And far beyond, the cosmic shapes moved faster and faster, closing in on the planet. The moment of confrontation was near. The humans had arrived. The medicine and engineers were ready. But the greatest danger, the threat that had silently advanced across the galaxy, was about to reach them. Lyra looked at the horizon, her eyes filled with determination. We are ready, she whispered. Whatever comes, we will face it. Together. The citizens of Zorth held their breath. The Earth fleet hovered above, ready, and in the dark, approaching from the stars, the first signs of danger grew impossible to ignore. The night sky over Zorth was alive with motion. The Earth fleet hovered silently, massive and gleaming, waiting for the moment of engagement. The cosmic shapes from beyond the stars moved closer, their glowing bodies slicing through space with terrifying speed. The ground trembled slightly under their approach, and a low hum filled the city, vibrating through every street and tower. Lyra stood at the edge of the highest terrace, her eyes scanning the horizon. Her heart raced, and sweat rolled down her face. The humans had prepared her people, but preparation alone was not enough. The shapes were unlike anything she had ever imagined, neither machine nor creature, but something in between, alive with energy and intent. Commander Varric joined her, his expression grim. This is it, he said. The fleet is ready. Our defenses are ready. But nothing will prepare us for what's coming. Stay close to the engineers. Follow instructions. Do not panic. The citizens of Zorth had been moved to safe zones, but many still watched from a distance. Their eyes were wide with fear and awe. Children clutched their parents, whispering prayers they didn't fully understand. Soldiers took their positions, weapons in hand, prepared to defend their world alongside Earth's forces. Then, suddenly, the first shape breached the atmosphere. It moved faster than any Zorathian or human vessel could, glowing with energy that made the night sky seem small and fragile. The hum grew louder, a low, ominous vibration that shook the city. Lights from the Earth fleet blinked urgently, signaling to each other in a language Lyra could not fully understand. The first human engineer approached her. They are scanning us, he said. Not all attacks are visible. Some can bypass our defenses. Be ready. Lyra swallowed hard. She had never felt such fear and anticipation at the same time. The fleet's shields flared as the first cosmic shape tested them. A wave of energy hit the protective barrier, making it ripple like water in a storm. Sparks flew, and alarms rang through the city. Citizens gasped, hiding behind walls and in corners. Commander Varric shouted orders, directing soldiers and engineers to reinforce weak points. Lyra relayed messages to Earth engineers, coordinating repairs and adjustments in real time. The humans moved with calm authority, their suits glowing under the city lights. They were precise, fearless, and unyielding. The citizens of Zorth watched in awe as humans and aliens worked together. The first wave of the threat passed, leaving the city shaken but intact. Medicine had been distributed to those who needed it. Machines were repaired instantly, and defensive systems had held. Yet, Lyra knew this was only the beginning. More shapes appeared, moving faster and closer. The Earth fleet engaged, launching small ships and energy beams to intercept the incoming threat. The cosmic shapes twisted and dodged with terrifying intelligence, adapting to every countermeasure. Lyra's stomach nodded. They were not mindless. They were strategic, and they were relentless. A sudden warning came from one of the Earth engineers. The main fleet is approaching the lower orbit. They are preparing a direct strike. Lyra's eyes widened. The main shape, massive beyond comprehension, descended toward the planet like a falling mountain. Its energy glowed brighter than combined lights of the fleet above. Soldiers on the ground held their breath. Citizens screamed. Everyone stay calm. Commander Varric shouted, "Earth's fleet will hold them. Trust the humans." Lyra helped coordinate the distribution of emergency supplies. Medicine had to reach the sick even during the chaos. Engineers adjusted shields, strengthened landing zones, and prepared escape routes. Every second counted. Then, in the heart of the city, the first true interaction occurred. A smaller cosmic shape landed, its energy crackling violently. It emitted a sound that seemed almost intelligent, a vibration that resonated in every chest. The humans and Zorathians approached carefully, weapons ready, but the creature did not attack immediately. The human engineer stepped forward. "It is communicating," he said calmly. "Not all threats are hostile. Some may test our defenses before deciding." Lyra watched, amazed. The creature's energy shifted, responding to the human signals. It was learning, understanding, testing. The tension was unbearable. Citizens held their breath. Soldiers tensed. Every second could decide life or death. Then, the creature lunged. Energy shot toward the city. Shields flared. Alarms blared. Soldiers and engineers scrambled. Lyra felt her heart leap as the shields absorbed the energy, but sparks flew across the ground. The humans acted immediately, coordinating countermeasures with astonishing speed. The battle was chaotic, yet strangely precise. Humans and Zorathians moved as one, each action reinforcing the other. Medicine reached the sick, machines kept running, shields held strong, and the threat, while overwhelming, was slowly being contained. As the first confrontation ended, the citizens of Zorith realized the truth. Earth had not only come to help, they had come prepared for war, for survival, and for unity. Their people had hope, yes, but also fear. The cosmic threat was stronger than anyone had imagined, and the true danger had only just begun. Lyra looked up at the sky. The massive shapes hovered, circling, testing, watching. The Earth fleet glimmered above, ready for the next strike. Commander Varric placed a clawed hand on her shoulder. "This is just the start," he said. "We survived today, but tomorrow will be harder. We must trust each other completely, or we will fall." Lyra nodded. She understood now that survival was more than preparation. It was courage, unity, and determination. And Zorith, together with Earth, was ready to face whatever came next. The hum in the sky continued. The shapes moved, the fleet shimmered, and the city held its breath. The first contact was made, but the real test was only beginning. The night over Zorith was restless. Citizens huddled in safe zones, watching the sky with fear and awe. The Earth fleet hovered above, massive and silent, while the cosmic shapes moved like predators circling their prey. The first encounter had been survived, but everyone knew it was only the beginning. Lyra stood in the command center, screens flickering with signals from the approaching shapes. Her fingers flew over controls, coordinating Zorathian and Earth engineers, tracking the movements of every enemy vessel. Commander Varric paced behind her, his eyes sharp, calculating. Suddenly, a message came from one of the human engineers. "We've analyzed their patterns. They are not random attackers. This is a coordinated assault. Someone is controlling them. Their real objective is not your city. It's your planet's core energy." Lyra froze. Core energy? That powers everything. Our machines, our cities, even our medicine. If they take it, Zorith will collapse. Varric's claws gripped the console. "Then we protect it at all costs. Earth, prepare your fleet for direct defense. Everyone else, reinforce shields around the city core. No mistakes." The citizens watched nervously as massive shields flared around the city core, glowing with brilliant blue light. Soldiers manned their stations. Engineers worked frantically to stabilize the energy flow. Every corner of the city was alive with movement and tension. The cosmic shapes surged closer, faster and more coordinated than before. This time, their attack was precise. Energy beams struck the city's outskirts, forcing the fleet and Zorathian defenses to respond instantly. Sparks flew, buildings trembled and panic threatened to rise, but the humans moved with calm authority, directing every action with surgical precision. Lyra noticed something terrifying. The shapes were learning. Every time a shield blocked an attack, the next strike came from a different angle, faster, stronger. It was as if the enemy could see and adapt to every defense. "They are testing us," a human engineer said calmly. "We have only hours before the main strike." Lyra swallowed hard. Hours. That was not much time. She quickly coordinated teams to reinforce weak points and reroute energy to critical systems. Medicine had to reach those still sick or injured, even during the chaos. She ran from zone to zone, her heart pounding. Every second counted. Then, the first real breach happened. A cosmic shape penetrated one of the outer shields, crashing into a residential area. Citizens screamed as buildings shook. Soldiers engaged immediately, supported by human engineers who deployed advanced energy nets to neutralize the threat. Lyra's stomach twisted as she watched. Lives were at stake. But there was no time to grieve. More attacks followed instantly. Commander Varric shouted orders, moving between stations. "Focus. Protect the core. Earth Fleet, intercept the incoming shapes." Citizens moved to secure zones. The battle raged across the city. Earth ships fired energy beams, blocking and pushing back the cosmic shapes. Zorathian soldiers launched missiles and shields in perfect synchronization. Lyra relayed every command, her voice steady even as her heart raced. Amid the chaos, another message arrived from the human engineers. "The controlling entity is near. This is no longer a simple attack. It is intelligent, and it knows your weaknesses. Prepare for the worst." Lyra felt a chill. An intelligent threat? Something, or someone, was orchestrating this entire assault. They had been fighting blindly until now. But the enemy had a plan. And then, the entity revealed itself. A massive, glowing form appeared above the city, larger than anything Zorth had ever seen. Its energy pulsed like a living heartbeat, sending waves of fear and pressure across the city. The humans called it a prime controller, guiding the cosmic shapes with terrifying intelligence. Soldiers froze. Citizens screamed. The city shook with its presence. Lyra realized that this was the real battle. Not just defense, but survival. Every life depended on the combined strength of Zorathians and humans working as one. Commander Varric turned to Lyra. "This is our moment," he said firmly. "We fight, we survive, and we protect everything we have built. No hesitation. Together with Earth, we stand or fall." Lyra nodded. She directed engineers to reinforce the city's core defenses, while coordinating the fleet to engage the prime controller. Energy beams collided, shields flared, and explosions lit the night sky. Despite the chaos, there was a strange beauty in the coordinated effort. Humans and Zorathians worked as one, each action complementing the other. Medicine reached the wounded. Shields held strong, and attacks were repelled. For a moment, hope flared amid the destruction. But the prime controller was relentless. It adapted, shifting energy, redirecting attacks, and sending cosmic shapes in unpredictable patterns. Every defense tested, every strategy challenged. Lyra realized with shiver, this would not end easily. The citizens watched, tense but inspired. They had seen their leaders fight, their allies arrive, and their city survive. They understood that courage, unity, and trust were now their most powerful weapons. And as the battle raged into the night, a message flashed across Lyra's screen. The humans had discovered a vulnerability in the prime controller, but exploiting it would require a daring plan, one that could risk everything. Lyra took a deep breath. "We may have a chance," she whispered to herself. "A real chance to survive, if we are brave enough to act." The prime controller loomed above, pulsing with dangerous energy. The cosmic shape swirled around it, obeying every command. The city's defenses shone brightly, resisting, surviving, but only just. Lyra knew the next step would be critical. One mistake, one hesitation, and Zorth could fall. Earth had arrived to help. But the true battle, the one that would decide the fate of their planet, was only beginning. The night over Zorth was brighter than ever, lit by the glowing energy of the Earth fleet and the cosmic threat looming above. The prime controller pulsed with a terrifying intensity, directing its swarm of cosmic shapes with lethal precision. Every beam, every strike tested the city's defenses, the courage of its people, and the strategy of Earth's engineers. Lyra stood at the command center, sweat dripping down her face. Fingers flying across the consoles, she coordinated humans and Zorathians alike, sending updates, relaying instructions, and monitoring energy flows. Her heart raced, but she kept her voice calm. Every word mattered. Every second counted. Commander Varric stood beside her, his eyes fixed on the horizon. "This is it," he said, claws tightening around the railing. "If we fail, Zorith falls. But if we fight together, we survive." The citizens of Zorith watched from safe zones, holding their breath. The once terrifying shapes were now a test of unity, showing the power of courage, preparation, and trust. Soldiers manned the front lines, shields blazing. Engineers reinforced defenses. Every movement was synchronized, every strategy precise. Then, the humans revealed their plan. The Prime Controller had a weak point, a concentrated core of energy that powered all its movements. But reaching it required a coordinated strike. Earth's fleet would distract the cosmic shapes, while Zorathians would guide energy from their cities core directly into the attack. Lyra's pulse quickened. It was risky. One misstep, and both Earth and Zorith would be destroyed. But it was the only chance. She relayed the orders. Engineers adjusted energy fields. Soldiers took positions. And the fleet prepared for final assault. The Prime Controller reacted instantly, sending swarms of cosmic shapes to intercept. Energy beams clashed, shields flared, and explosions lit the night sky. Citizens watched, hearts pounding, as the battle reached its peak. Lyra coordinated the energy transfer. The city core's glow intensified, flowing through channels to reach the Prime Controller. Sparks flew, alarms blared, but every system held. The humans fired precision beams, distracting the cosmic swarm and keeping the controller exposed. Commander Varric led a team of soldiers, guiding the energy flow and protecting the channels. Lyra watched as everything aligned. The city's energy, the human fleet, and the coordinated attack converged. It was a risky dance, but for the first time, the cosmic shapes hesitated. The Prime Controller pulsed violently, then faltered. Its energy core flickered. The swarm of shapes wavered, losing coordination. Lyra felt hope rise. "It's working," she shouted. But the threat was not finished. The Prime Controller lashed out in desperation, sending a massive wave of energy toward the city. Shields flared, buildings trembled, and citizens ducked in fear. Lyra's fingers moved faster than ever, stabilizing the flow, redirecting energy, and coordinating defenses. Finally, the combined force of Zorith's energy and Earth's fleet struck the Prime Controller's core. A blinding explosion filled the sky. The cosmic shapes scattered, their control broken. The city shook, then fell silent. The threat was defeated, or at least weakened. The citizens erupted in cheers. Soldiers lowered their weapons, exhausted but victorious. Earth engineers landed, shaking hands with Zorathian leaders. Lyra wiped sweat from her forehead, smiling despite her exhaustion. They had survived. Together, Commander Varric approached her, pride in his eyes. "We did it," he said. "Zorith is safe, thanks to unity. Humans and Zorathians side by side." Lyra nodded, looking at the Earth fleet preparing to depart. "They came to help us when we needed it most. But I feel this is just the beginning." And she was right. As the humans prepared to leave, a faint signal flickered on one of the consoles. A distant plea for help from another star system. A new adventure, another challenge, waiting in the vast galaxy. The citizens of Zora celebrated, but they did not forget the lesson learned. Courage, trust, and unity could overcome even the greatest threats. They had seen the power of working together, humans and aliens side by side. Lyra stood once more on the terrace, looking at the stars. The Earth fleet glimmered in the distance, a reminder that allies could come from anywhere. And somewhere out there, in the endless galaxy, new challenges waited. But for now, Zorith was safe. The hum of energy faded, the skies calmed, and a sense of peace settled over the city. The story of survival, courage, and unity had been written in the stars. But the galaxy was vast, and its mysteries were far from over. Lyra smiled, feeling hope in her heart. Whatever came next, she knew Zorith and Earth would face it together. And somewhere in the darkness of space, new adventures were already beginning. The skies above Zorth had finally calmed. The Earth fleet had departed, leaving behind a world that was safe, at least for now. Citizens returned to their homes, tending to the wounded and rebuilding what had been damaged. The city glowed softly under the stars, a silent testament to courage, unity, and survival. Lyra stood on the highest terrace, gazing at the night sky. She had watched the fleet disappear, their lights fading into the distance. Hope and gratitude filled her heart, but a sense of unease lingered. The galaxy was vast, and threats were never far away. Suddenly, a flicker appeared on her console. A signal, faint but unmistakable, pulsed from a distant star system. It was not Earth. It was something new, something unknown. Commander Varric joined her, eyes narrowing as he studied the readings. "A call for help," he said slowly. "Far beyond our system. Someone or something is in danger." Lyra's mind raced. The humans had warned them that the galaxy was full of challenges. Zorth had survived, yes, but that survival had shown them that the universe did not wait. Danger could appear anywhere at any time. She turned to Varric. "Should we respond? Do we have the ability to help again?" Varric's claws rested on the railing. "We do, and we must. We have learned what courage and unity can do. We cannot ignore this call. But this time, the risk may be even greater." The citizens of Zorth had begun noticing the change. Screens across the city lit up with the mysterious signal. Questions spread quickly. Who was calling? What kind of danger awaited them? And most importantly, could they survive it? Lyra activated the communication array. She sent a signal back, cautiously, testing the connection. The response came almost immediately. A series of symbols, strange and unfamiliar, but clearly intelligent. Someone or something was reaching out for help, and they were counting on Zorth to answer. Varric looked at her, a serious glint in his eyes. "Prepare the fleet. Contact Earth. We may need their help again. And this time, we must be ready for anything." Lyra nodded, her heart pounding. The city had survived its first great test, but now a new adventure beckoned. A new threat, or perhaps a new ally, awaited them among the stars. And somewhere, far beyond Zorth, the signal pulsed again. Steady, persistent, a reminder that the galaxy was alive with mystery, danger, and opportunity. Lyra looked up at the night sky, determination blazing in her eyes. "We survived once," she whispered. "We can survive again. Whatever is out there, we will face it. Together." The stars shimmered, and the wind carried a sense of anticipation. The story of Zorth was far from over, and as the first preparations began for the new journey, a single thought echoed through every mind. The galaxy was calling, and Zorth would answer. The signal from deep space had grown stronger. Day by day, it pulsed steadily through Zorth's communication arrays, filling the city with a sense of tension and curiosity. Citizens whispered about what, or who, was calling. Children asked questions no one could fully answer, and soldiers kept watch, eyes scanning the skies for any unusual activity. Lyra stood at the highest terrace, her console glowing with the new readings. "It's not like anything we've seen before," she murmured. Symbols and energy patterns shifted constantly, almost alive, defying conventional logic. "It's intelligent, but different from anything human or Zorathian." Commander Varric joined her, claws tapping on the railing. "We have survived countless challenges, Lyra, but this may be unlike anything we faced before. Prepare for the unexpected. Full alert across the city, and alert the Earth fleet immediately." Lyra nodded, heart pounding. Messages were sent. Alarms were raised. Citizens were moved to secure zones, and soldiers prepared for a possible conflict. Earth engineers responded quickly, dispatching scouts and readying ships for coordination. Then it happened. A ripple in space appeared near Zorth's orbit, a distortion, shimmering and bending light in ways that made the stars seem to twist. Everyone gasped. The unknown had arrived. Massive shapes emerged from the distortion, unlike the cosmic threat they had fought before. These were larger, faster, and more complex. Glowing cores hovered inside them, pulsing like living hearts. Their movement was elegant, almost deliberate, and their energy radiated power that made even Earth's fleet hesitate. Lyra's hands flew across the console, sending updates and coordinating defenses. "They are scanning us," she realized aloud. "We don't know their intentions." Commander Varric's eyes narrowed. "We fight only if necessary, but we show strength. Shields up, fleet ready, everyone prepared." The citizens watched in awe and fear as the unknown shapes moved closer. Unlike the previous threat, there was no immediate attack. Yet, the energy from the approaching objects made the ground tremble slightly, and the air shimmered with an unnatural heat. Lyra studied the readings. "They're intelligent. They're observing. Learning." A human engineer appeared beside her, voice calm but firm. "They are testing Zortha's defenses and response. They may communicate if we act correctly, but any mistake could provoke aggression." The city held its breath. Soldiers braced. Engineers checked systems. Even children watched quietly from safe zones. The unknown shapes hovered just above the atmosphere, pulsing with light and energy, waiting for what no one could say. Lyra realized something vital. This was not just a test of strength. It was a test of unity. Humans and Zorathians had survived the last threat together. Now, the unknown was observing that unity, judging whether they were worthy allies or vulnerable prey. Commander Varric turned to Lyra. "We cannot wait. Send a response. Show them we are intelligent, prepared, and capable, but do not reveal our weaknesses." Lyra nodded, composing a careful message, using symbols and energy patterns that mirrored the unknown signal. She sent it into space, holding her breath as the pulse traveled. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the unknown shapes shifted, their lights brightening and changing color. The energy around Zorith vibrated as if responding. The citizens gasped. The humans and Zorathians exchanged glances. A silent acknowledgement passed. Communication had begun, but just as quickly, one shape darted toward the planet's outer atmosphere. Alarms blared. Soldiers rushed to intercept. The unknown's intentions remained unclear. Friend or foe, no one could be certain. Lyra clenched her fists. "Whatever this is, it's only the beginning. We've survived before, and we will survive again. Together." The skies shimmered with energy. The unknown hovered, waiting for the next move. And far above, the Earth fleet flared with light, ready to act at a moment's notice. Zorth had faced death and survived, but the galaxy had only begun to test them. And somewhere in the distance, the first signs of new adventure were already unfolding.